Okay, good evening. It's Saturday, the 9th of May. The time is 1946. We're sitting at stand 81, which is a remote stand at Glasgow in the Boeing 737-600. So we're going to do a quick flight down to London Southend and so let's jump in the plane and get set up. Alright, first thing, let's turn the battery on. And let's run through the checklists. So, landing gear is down, speed brakes are down, flaps are up, battery is on, and let's make sure it's covered. Yeah. Master caution is disengaged. Electrical hydraulic pumps are off. Fuel pumps are all off. The emergency lights are armed and covered. Seat belts are on. So position lights are on. Cockpit lights we'll test. And everything's lit up there. Everything's lit up there. So let's set up the flight management computer. So we'll set the fuel and payload. So we're flying from EGPF to EGMC. Let's turn on the APU. While we're doing that, we will set up the electronic flight bag. So that's the flight plan in there. Weight and balance is done. So ground operations, let's close all the doors. We'll release all the vehicles and we'll remove the chocks. So the APU is on. Gate 81. For our position. So the other thing that we'll do is turn on the radios. And we'll silence these alarms by turning on the APU generators. Right, so let's continue. So we've got the flight plan in. Load in the flight plan, so it should give us runway 23, Norble 1 Hotel, departure to Norble, picking up the 256 airway to Ripno, climb up to 33,000 feet, direct a Komu, direct VAMED take the uniform Lima 612 to Listo, and then it's a List 1 Sierra arrival into Southend runway 5. So activate the flight plan. Right. So let's put in departing runway 23 Norval 1 Hotel and arrive in ILS 05 List 1S. Flight plans all in. We'll remove the altitude constraints on the departure. Right. So, performance initialization. So let's have a look here. I'm going to use runway 23. I'm going to do a flaps 5 takeoff. That will give us VRAF of 128. So we're going to go 33,000. Let's dial that in, and our runway heading will be 238. So we'll dial that in. Right, weight and balance. Takeoff weight is 55,366, so 55.3. We've got 5.5 tons of fuel on board, 2 in reserve. Cost index for this flight is 58. We're going to fly at 33,000. Winds up there, 251 at 22. And that's good. Be a full thrust takeoff, flaps 5. And the runway winds, let's tune to the 80s.
Glasgow Airport Information Golf, 1800 Zulu. Wind 061 at 11. Visibility, 6 in heavy rain. Sky condition, ceiling 3400 broken. Temperature, 10.
I don't think it'll be runway 23 then, I think we'll get runway 5.
QNH 1024. ILS runway 5 in use. Landing and departing runway 5.
So runway
VFR
5.
aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Golf.
Alright. So, it'll be runway 5.
Glasgow Airport Information Hotel, 1800 Zulu. Wind 061 at 11. Visibility, 6 in heavy rain. Sky condition, ceiling 34. Glasgow Airport Information Hotel.
Alright. So we're tuned to the ground frequency now, so let me just check. So I need to delete the altitude constraints. And we have no discontinuities, which is good. Right. Cool. So FMC's set up. So the recirculation fans are auto. Packs are auto. Autopilots are off. IRS selectors to nav. APU is on. APU bleeds are on. Master caution is disengaged. So let's request taxi. We're going to go south. Altimeter is set 1024. Initial altitude is set.
Sky Mark 737. Taxi to and hold short of runway 5 using taxiway Quebec Golf. Contact tower on 118.805 when ready.
Right.
Taxi to and hold short runway 5 using taxiway Quebec Golf. Sky Mark 737.
So the trims are set. V2 is set. V2 plus 20 is set. Fuel pumps. Okay. Fuel pumps are on. Yaw dampener is on. Cross feed valve test. Window heats are on. No anti-ice required. Hydraulic pumps are on. Landing altitude and the overhead. We'll dial in 33,000. It's dialed in. Flight directors are on. LNAV and VNAV are selected. Auto brake is in rejected takeoff. Radios are set, ground connections are all removed, and the doors are closed. So let's ask for pushback.
Glasgow ground, Sky Mark 737, requesting pushback.
Sky Mark 737. Pushback request accepted.
Okay. So, before start checks, the parking brake is released because we're being pushed. The chocks are removed. Takeoff briefing. It's Norval 1 Juliet off runway 5. Anti-collision light is on. Packs are off. Anti-collision transponder off, and that's that checklist complete. So, engine start checklist. We're being pushed back. Ignition switches to ground and left. It's 20% N2. We'll add the fuel. Successful start on 1, start 2. Start on 2, ignition's off, Right, let's do the before taxi checklist. Engine generator switches are on. APU is off. APU bleeds are off. Packs left and right are on. Window and cockpits are on. Engine anti-ice is not required. Flaps set for takeoff, so that's 5. Trims are in the green. Flight controls, so we have full forward and release, full back and release, full left and release, full right, release, full left rudder, release, full right rudder, release. Recall is checked. Taxi lights are on and TCAS is test.
TCAS system test, okay.
Okay, so let's taxi out to runway 5. British Airways landed. let's run the before takeoff checks. Park and brake is set. Auto throttles are armed. Center fuel pumps are on. Anti-ice is not required. Cabin lights are on. Flight instruments are checked. Engine instruments are checked. Brake temperatures are good. Takeoff data is set. We have V1 118, rotation same speed, and V2 128. Landing lights are on. Runway turn-off lights are on. Taxi lights are off. Position lights, strobe and steady. Transponder is TARA. And we'll start the clock. Right, let's talk to the tower and ask for our takeoff clearance.
Glasgow Tower, Skymark 737 at runway 5, ready for departure. Departure to the south.
Skymark 737, QNH 1024 traffic is ATR 76 on final. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 5.
So we're cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway 5.
Final.
Skymark 737.
Approach path is clear. One last look. Runway is clear. Okay. Throttle's set.
Positive rate of climb.
Okay, positive right. Gears coming up.
Skymark 737, continue for south departure.
Glasgow Tower, Skymark 737, continue for south departure.
So that's 1500. Flaps 1. We'll engage the autopilot.
Skymark 737, did you copy?
Oops.
Glasgow Tower, Skymark 737, frequency change.
So, flaps up. Attention to Glasgow approach. So coming up on 6,000, change the standard pressure. Right, let's run through the after takeoff checklists. Gears up, auto brakes are off, Engine start switches are off, gear levers off, flaps are up, autopilot's on, LNAV and VNAV are engaged, runway turn off lights are off, checklist complete. That's 10,000, so we can turn the landing lights off and the seatbelt signs are off. Fuel pumps are on and anti-ice not required. Norbo. We're just to the north of Prestwick. And as we turn on a course, we've got about a 40-mile-an-hour tailwind that's going to give us a nice little boost. That's 30,000, 3,000 to go, just under 12 miles. We're heading towards the Solway Firth, and we've got a ground speed of 480 knots, which is about 550 miles an hour. So 1,000 feet to go. 3,000 feet. So that's us reached our cruising level. We got 161 nautical miles before we start our descent. So that's just under another 20 minutes, I think, by rough calculation. So we're routing just to the west of Dumfries right now, about to cross over the Solway Firth, and our route will take us down towards Lancaster, passing just to the east of Barrow and Furness. Then we'll make a slight right turn, track down just to the east of Preston, down just to the west of Manchester, and we'll make a little turn just to the north of Newcastle under Lyme, and then we'll track down towards Coventry, Milton Keynes, and then we're going to route to the east, passing just to the north for Chelmsford, and then making a westerly approach, we'll be approaching from the west to runway 5 at Southend. So that's the route as is planned. We're just passing over the water at the Solway Firth. Let's run through the cruise checklist. So engine and instruments are all good, nothing of any concern. Fuel quantity is 4.1, 205 in the left, 2.07 in the right. Fuel burn is good. Pumps are all on, and we have the beacon and strobe lights on. So we've got 100 nautical miles to our top of descent point. So once again, it's just coming over the water just to the north of Lancaster. She is a good looking bird. 40 nautical miles to the top and descent, so we'll ask the flight management computer for the winds on our descent to help VNAV. just under 10 miles till we start our descent. start our descent. So we're just turning just to the north of Tamworth, and we're going to track down just passing the northeast edge of Coventry before we head down to
climb and maintain 2300.
around about Silverstone, where we'll make a left turn and head on a more easterly track, passing just over the south of Milton Keynes out to Royston, making a turn, and we'll be approaching Southend from the north, crossing the fields and making a teardrop approach to the ILS on runway 5. Okay, so just past 24,000, we're descending to 20,000 initially. So we'll run through the descent checks. We don't need DIs. Landing altimeter, well, we don't have the ATIS yet because of a limitation in flight sim, so we'll get that in a bit. Call is checked, no cautions. Auto brake, we'll set auto brake 2, and on passing 6,000 we'll reset the transition altitude of 6,000. We'll reset the altimeter. To go. We clear down to 50.
London Center, Skymark 737 is type Boeing 737, 1 mile south of Echo Golf Foxtrot Mike, 17,000. Request flight following.
Skymark 737, London Center, Squawk 7306. Skymark 737, radar contact 3 miles southeast of Echo Golf Foxtrot Mike, 16,500. QNH 1018.
1018 QNH.
Roger, Skymark 737.
So 15, we cleared down to 12. So I just called into ATC, see if up the tower at Southend. So Silverstone is down there somewhere.
Ryanair 4266. You are 300 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 2,200 QNH 1017.
About 50 nautical miles to run. London Stansted, just about the 1 o'clock position. We're going to be making a turn in just under 5 miles. It's going to take us just past Stansted Airport. So we're coming up on 10,000 feet with the landing lights on, and put the seatbelt signs on, and our speed we want to be a few knots slower, but we're okay.
Airport information, Charlie, 1900 Zulu, wind 059er at 7, visibility, tree, sky condition, few clouds at 3,300, few clouds at 4,800, few clouds at 13,700, temperature, 12, dew point 6, QNH 1017, ILS runway 5 in use, landing and departing runway 5, VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Charlie. Southend Airport information Delta.
136.2 for Sky Mark 737.
So we missed the call there with the ATC because I'm tuned to get the weather at Southend.
Stansted approach. Skymark 737, 8700.
Skymark 737, Stansted approach, QNH 1018, radar contact, continue.
Don't be worried, sir. Okay, that's Braintree up ahead. Looks like a reasonably clear approach. So we're making a right turn just after Braintree. Turning down, we're going to cross the airfield from the north. We're going to head west for a little bit and turn back round for runway 05.
Skymark 737, contact approach on 130.78. Good day.
130.78. Skymark 737. Approach Skymark 737, 7000.
Skymark 737. Approach QNH 1017. Radar contact. Continue.
So Southend must be on the top. So we're tuned to the tower. Took a bit fucking around. So I believe I'm visual with the field. So approach checks. Altimeter is set 1017. Local area frequency is checked 11135. 1115 is set 1115. That's set into approach is armed. Landing gear, well, we'll hold that till final. some reason the aircraft was struggling to hold course there, so I've selected head and select to stabilize things before we have to throw this approach away. Vina path. Right, so let's turn back towards the field. It's Gravesend on the left hand side of the River Thames, Tilbury on the right hand side, London off in the distance. So let's follow flaps 1. Okay, runway in sight. Flaps 5. So let's ask for landing.
Tower, Skymark 737 is 10 miles southwest, 2800 with Echo to land.
Skymark 737, Tower, QNH 1017, make straight in runway 5.
So we got the right QNH, so
Make straight in runway 5, Skymark 737.
okay, we're descending on the glide, passing 2500. Minimums are 200.
Skymark 737, wind 059er at 6, cleared to land runway 5.
Right, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 5. Skymark 737.
So very light winds, pretty much straight down the runway. So 5 mans, gear down, flaps 15. So, flaps 30.
1,000.
Alright, disconnect the auto throttle. Disconnect the autopilot.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
Sink rate. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Okay.
Skymark 737. Exit runway when able.
Right. Okay,
Skymark
after landing
737.
checks.
Turn next taxiway.
Transponders off.
Skymark 737. Contact ground on 127.73.
Right.
127.73 for Skymark 737.
Start the APU. take this next one. Runway, parking 12. Oh. Set. Alright, after landing checks, transponder is off. Let's stop the clock. 1:13. Flaps are retracted. Speed brake is down. Taxi lights are on. Strobe and steady is steady. Probe heats. APUs on, probe heats are off. Engine start switches are off, auto brake is off, flight directors are off. Alright. So next checklist. Park and brake is set. Engine fuel cutout levers are cut. Master warning is disengaged. Anti-collision lights are off. Wheel chocks. Let's get them set. Ground operations, set the chocks. Chocks are set. Ground connections. Let's get the... I'm going to reset that alarm. Actually, wait a minute. If we turn on the APU generators, that'll turn that off. Alright, so ground service vehicles, let's request them all. Yaw damper is off. Fuel pumps are off. Passenger signs are off. Fuel pumps are off. Ground power not needed. APU is off. Fuel pumps again off. Start switches are off. Hydraulic pumps are off. APU bleeds. APU bleeds, sorry, is off. Transponder is on standby. And there we go, let's power off. So here's the vehicles arriving. And that's us. All done. We hope you enjoyed your flight on Skymark 737 tonight between Glasgow and London Southend. See ya.